We are at the start line of the Big Sur International Marathon, and we thought it would be fun to show you the whole course. So sit back and enjoy. It'll take about 35 minutes, although tomorrow it's going to take about 4 hours for everybody. The first mile is kind of downhill and through these redwoods, so people, when they're excited, have a tendency to start a little fast. So everybody has to pull in and try to calm themselves down. Okay, we're just passing Ripplewood. Okay, here we are with the river in on the left. Lots of activity. There are a lot of healthy people around here. This is where a lot of people stay. And you're going to get to experience the traffic just like we are right now. And we get some nice really straight stretches of road. Off to our left, we have the Andrew Valera State Park. And I think there's some runners that actually come down here and camp and then drive down to the start line. There's the old coast road going up to the right. This is one of the real interesting parts of the run. We're getting close to the mouth of the Little Sur River, where it comes in from the National Forest. And once you cross over the Little Sur River, you are starting up a 2-mile trek. It's a pretty tough run up to Hurricane Point, which, as you can guess, means it's windy up there. This is the area where a lot of the walkers, and there are thousands of people that walk the course as part of the festival and the event. And it's kind of fun when you run through here, everybody's cheering. And that is looking up the Little Sur River Valley, and we're going over the river now and just starting a part of the course that everybody dreads, because it is now uphill at a pretty good gradient for about 2.2 miles. We just hit mile number 10, and at this point everybody's doing real well. It just seems to keep on going up. I remember though, looking back on the race, when you train for this, it's surprising how well you do going up this steep part kind of early in the race, and how hard it becomes to do little bitty hills when you hit about 18 miles or 20 miles. And around the bend we go here at Hurricane Point, and now it's down the hill toward the famous Bixby Bridge. It's fun to do this race because you think you're on a slow motion tour. The geology and geography is so spectacular here that as you run along and talk to people, everybody's just looking at the views. Absolutely fun. And here we go across the world famous bridge. This is right about the center of the race, about 13 and a half miles. Carol and I live here in the area, but a lot of people that run this race are from all over the world, and they've heard about it, but they've never seen the course. So on today, many people drive down and just look at what they're going to do. And it's a little overwhelming to see the ups and downs and just how beautiful the scenery is. It's also a fragile coastline, so what we have to do now is stop because part of the road fell into the ocean. But fortunately, it just went green, so we're off and running again. So it's going to be a little narrow right here for the runners. There's another historic bridge, the Rocky Creek Bridge. All of these bridges were built in 1931, 32, 33 during the Depression when people needed work and things needed to be done. You can always kind of tell what time of year it is here in Carmel. In August, it's all the car crazies with all the fancy cars. In late April, everybody you see in Carmel looks like they've been training for years. They're in great shape, very, very trim. So it's a healthy crowd we have in town right now. It's kind of fitting that the Big Sur Marathon is running on Highway 1 here, which was the first scenic highway in the country. This is not a real severe hill, but it's starting to wear on people. These last hills that you don't even remember, all of a sudden you discover, where did these hills come from? Last year, my son in Washington, D.C. ran the Marines Memorial Race. And it was so interesting because to compare the Big Sur International Marathon to a race that is run through the city. In Washington, the streets were lined with people. Everywhere you go, people were cheering and clapping and yelling. On the Big Sur Marathon, you feel like you're out here all by yourself. You have your runners, and ever so often there are a few people, but you don't see anybody until you really get towards the end of the race. Mile 20. We're starting to come up on, okay, we just passed mile 21. We're coming up on signs of being a little closer to Carmel and the Monterey Peninsula. We have Otter Cove on the left, and we're just about to enter Carmel Highlands, going over the Malpaso Bridge, which is another historic bridge. And here's where you start going uphill again, and you just can't believe that you didn't even think of these hills here at the end. As you run through this area, all the residents in Carmel Highlands have come down to the sides of the road. So you're starting to have lots of people cheering and yelling, handing out strawberries, water. It's starting to get a little more festive, although at this point you're not feeling real festive. Here we're going across Wildcat Creek Bridge. The Highlands Inn is up above us on the right. And it's starting to flatten out a little bit now as we get close to Point Lobos. I think my car cam's doing pretty good. It's sitting on top of 2 real estate lock boxes and a checkbook, all held together with Scotch tape. So all you MacGyver fans ought to feel pretty good. remember seeing the Point Lobos sign here, and the thoughts that went through my head, I really think I'm going to finish it. There were lots of doubts in between 18 and about 22 miles. We're going past Monastery Beach now. One more small hill, past San Jose Creek, past the Carmelite Monastery, and one more hill. And now it is downhill. You know you are going to finish. And you start imagining hearing the crowds. Getting pretty close to the Carmel River. And about this time you realize that a year's worth of training and fun was really worth it. Over the Carmel River, the flags up ahead from all the countries of all the participants. There will be lots of stands up here, lots of people cheering, and just about right here, you go under the finish sign. So that's fun. I hope you enjoyed our little excursion. That was the Big Sur International Marathon.